Initially considered an inventor's mistake, a product informally known as the sticky note, which can stick to a surface without adhering permanently, has become one of the best-selling office supplies in history. So this one's a complicated sentence with a lot of different modifiers, and we need to make sure that each modifier clearly refers to the thing it's modifying and is as close as possible as it can be and still be grammatically correct. So we have an inventor's mistake, and then a product informally known as, so the mistake is the product. The sticky note, which can stick to a surface. So choice A is actually looking pretty good. B, inventor's mistake, the sticky note, having the ability to stick to a surface without adhering permanently. So number one, it's got having the ability, which the GMAT normally doesn't like being and having as your ways of describing characteristics of things. And then a product, the apposition, actually here, initially considered an inventor's mistake, having the ability, a product informally known as the sticky note has become one of the best-selling office supplies in history. We finally get to the main subject here, but we've separated the inventor's mistake and the sticky note from a product pretty far, so that makes B less good for us. C, a product initially considered an inventor's mistake. Then we kind of separate that. We want to say it's the same thing as the sticky note, but probably would have been better to say, you know, a sticky note as it's known informally or something like that, which can stick to the surface without adhering permanently, has become one. Okay, so we always do have the main verb at the end, but one of the issues here is that we are renaming the product. So the product is the subject of the sentence, and that's putting it even further from the main verb than choice A had. So even though this looks like it would be grammatically correct, a product initially considered an inventor's mistake has become one of the best-selling supplies. There's also a little bit, it's moving the subject further from the verb. We also have this, well, the placement of the which modifying sticky note is the same as in choice A, but we've moved the subject further from the verb, which makes things trickier. So if we had to choose A or C, we would choose A. D, product initially considered an inventor's mistake called the sticky note. We wouldn't want to have a comma here, which has the ability to stick to a surface. We would just want to say which can, so that's a couple of things we can cross off D. A product that was initially considered an inventor's mistake and has the ability to stick to a surface without adhering, again, has the ability to as opposed to can, so it is wordy, so we can cross off E. Of the two between A and C, we are definitely better off with A because it moves the subject closer to the verb.